This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace.
Last year, I went through many different life changes. I needed to take a pause and examine how I was feeling in the inside to better show up for the ones who need me to be my best version of myself.
When you're navigating life's changes, Talkspace can help. Talkspace is the #1 rated online therapy, bringing you professional support from licensed therapists and psychiatry providers that you can access anytime, anywhere.
Living a busy life, navigating a long-distance relationship, becoming a first-step father, Talkspace made all of those journeys possible. I could speak with my therapist in the office. I could speak with my therapist in the comfort of my home. I was never alone.
Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
On this episode of Narcissist Apocalypse, we talk with an abuse survivor named Pierre. And Pierre was in a relationship with a psychologically manipulative abuser. It's a story of intermittent reinforcement, put-downs, excuses, losing your identity, and control. Welcome to Narcissist Apocalypse, everyone. I am Brandon Chadwick, and with me today we have Pierre. How are you?
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. And if you want to be a guest like Pierre is today, please do go to our website at narcissistapocalypse.com, click on the guest form button, fill it out, and press the submit button. Also, we have a support group. We have Zoom meetings in this support group every Wednesday night, Thursday afternoons, and Saturday nights. And we have a newsletter at narcissistapocalypse.com. It's a very reflective newsletter, and you get a free workbook too from every new episode. All of this is at narcissistapocalypse.com. And there is no content warning for today, and this episode is an older episode. It's one of the first episodes that we ever did, and we did our best to clean up this recording as much as possible, get rid of a lot of rambling, remove a lot of me interrupting in these early days in this episode, and we did our best to clean up the sound. English wasn't the first language for Pierre, so we did our best to clean that up a little bit too and work with that a little. And there was also a baby that was allowed sometimes in this original episode, and we've done our best to remove the baby as much as possible as well. And now I think it's it's a little shorter, but I think it's much cleaner and better than it was. And today you're going to hear Pierre's story once again, or for the first time. And Pierre was in a relationship where intermittent reinforcement and psychological manipulation was very present, to make him feel like he was the bad person in this relationship. This played a major role in the abuse, and I know many of you out there will be validated by Pierre's story. So now I'm going to get it my way and your way. Pierre, the floor is now yours.
I moved to the US in 2016. I met a girl in a meeting at the company I was working with at that time. I would say we just catch up really easy. She invited me for lunch to her house, and the next day we met. She cooked for me. From that point on, she was just perfect, the perfect woman that you will ever met. She started to help me with everything, literally everything. She was, I used to live 30 miles from her house. She used to come. She has 2 children from different relationships. She used to share a little bit about her past. At that moment, I never realized that everything she used to share, she was basically the victim. She helped everybody and she was perfect to everybody, but somehow nothing works for her. Also, she used to start to add some spice into the relationship, sharing her past, and I've been just believing everything she say. And since she was so perfect to me, I couldn't believe how people could be so bad to her, and every single of her ex-boyfriends did something, and I just wanted to be the best man for her, and I tried to do literally everything that could help the relation to grow. So slowly, I ended up being in a situation that I moved from my house to a closer house because it was better for us. I believe everything, literally. I was feeling so sad that somebody went through all that pain that I couldn't believe, because she was the sweetest person in this world. My family doesn't live in the US. We talked to my family. All my family start to like her, but my sister. I'm going to say my sister say like, I don't know, there is something that it's too perfect to be true. But at that point, I said, like, "Ah, you're so complicated. When you will come to US, you will meet her. She's really nice." Yeah, she was extremely sweet. I have a son. My son is started to love her. She told, like, at that point, that he could call her mom. And I mean, at that point, he was 2 years, or she helped me with her birthday party. My son started to call her mommy. I mean, everything was so perfect. We were like dating 3 months, and one day we went out to the park with the kids. My son was pretty sick, and she was just, I'll say, perfect. My son's mother, we have some difficulties because my perception was that sometimes she could do more, or she wasn't not too much into being a mother. So I think she took that, she read that from me, and she was showing me how perfect she could be as a mother. She was the perfect mother. She stayed there for him, organized his clothes, everything. It was, for me, it was like amazing how a woman can be for as a mother. Despite the time, despite the distance, she was just there. And I was perfect. I couldn't complain about anything. And that day when my son was sick, she stayed up until night. She took care of him. She said, just stay in my place because he's sick. I will take care of him and you. I was reluctant to stay at her house, but since he was sick, uh, I was thinking what is the best for my son. So at that point, I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. That what is happening right now. So yeah, I was just let it go. Was perfect. We were dating 4 months, and was like to say, it will be easier if you move from your place to some place closer to my place, so I don't need to drive, or we don't need to drive so far. So I was feeling, well, things are going well. So yes, why not? It's not a bad idea. I will move closer. And then before that, we flew to Cancun. One of my best friends were getting married. We went to Cancun, and she was a little bit nervous, but she met my friends, and everybody was like, wow, you're the perfect couple. She looks so perfect. Like, it's incredible because I had no complaints until we came back from Cancun. When we came back from Cancun, I was already 15 days before the moving date. So I was looking for an apartment. I notified the lease office that I will move out. So after we came from Cancun, she just changed. She started to be more demanding regarding certain things. I was like, okay, maybe she's stressed about something, but I couldn't get it. But when we were moving from an apartment, it's like, okay, we need a new bed. We need a new bed. We need a new couch. We need this. I was like, well, we're saying we if we're not moving together. And then I was like, okay, stop there. What? I don't have money to buy everything. And then she's like, no, I have from my own apartment everything on the storage, so I'm going just to give it to you. I was like, wow. So we're going to do it together. So I'm like, okay, that's different. Yeah, fair enough. She started to take over slowly. So that's not apartment. This is better. I don't want that. This is better. And she started to be more demanding, more bossy.
So here we are. At this point, the relationship is 6 months long, and now you are moving close to her. You're not fully locked in yet, but you're making a move. and her behavior changes after seeming perfect for a very long time. She's now dictating choices to you, from apartment choices to furniture choices and more. What you haven't mentioned is that she does have a sick parent, so you are excusing this new behavior to that type of stress that is going on. And another excuse is that she'll one day be living with you, so of course her opinion on these things matter. So it's a little bit of a future fake in a way right here, but right here it will be a really good excuse for her behavior.
I mean, I'm not that complicated. So in my mind, it's like, I don't mind if the coach is white or black, as long as there's a coach. So I'm like, if that make you happy and it's important for you, well, for me, it's okay. You know, I took it as she wanted the best, and she always wanted the best. So for me, it was like, she wanted the best. The apartment will be comfy, homey. It's how it looked like. Fair enough. 1 week before the lease ended up, and we came back from Cancun, I stayed with her because all the December preparation. So she's like, why are you going to stay here? We spend December together. All my family comes, you know, so you don't be fought alone. So I said like, oh, thank you very much. So I took the offer. And yes, I should stay that week with her. So I felt the stress she went through because she couldn't buy Christmas presents. So I said like, I will help you. Let's buy the Christmas presents, because was something her father did the whole life, and now he cannot do it because of his cancer. Fair enough. When I'm spending so much money that I say like, okay, first and last time we do this. I disagree with spending so much money on just material things where we could use that money for a trip or something better. I agree that we can buy something, but we can make it easier and simple. And then she got upset. She got upset because I was stingy. I was being selfish. I said like, okay, nobody in my life has called me selfish, especially after I've done that. I'm just giving you my opinion. That's it. After that, she started to change. She got very upset. She said she was stressed about money. I didn't want her to spend more money. I said there are too many expenses right now. So I moved into the apartment and said like, I need to leave. I need to go into my place because this is too much. When I moved into the apartment, fair enough, she started to come more to the apartment. She started to bring clothes. She brought kids' clothes. So we kind of spend weekends here. So like a family will be better. And again, I'm like, okay, I still we're spending a lot of time together, but she took over. I mean, I didn't realize, but literally she took over. She was the boss 100%. Fair enough. We start to run. There were 7 months of the relation, and literally the woman I met, she was no more there. She was bossy. She was upset. And then she had a friend that at the beginning, I mean, how like, he's your friend, blah, blah. So I start to notice that certain things I didn't like. So we had a couple of conversations to say like, I feel like you're not being honest with me sometimes. You are being disrespectful with the relationship. So I don't understand that you can have friends. I don't want you here 100% of the time. But every time we have our discussions, you kind of push me out.
So right here, this friend is mentioned. It is a male friend, and they seem to be running to them always. And it's a bit of a triangulation that's going on. As you told me in the pre-call, that the abuser here is using this friend's opinion in conversations to reinforce that narrative. So what happens from here?
Even sometimes you say, you are too much, too sentimental. You are too emotional. She saw my friends, my family. And she was like, oh, you're all happy, hugging each other. She was like, yeah, I don't like when somebody's showing too much love or being too close to me sometimes. At that point, because at the beginning, she never said anything. She was perfectly fine. And then at the beginning, everybody on her family told her, wow, this is a handsome man, a good job, awesome communication skills. But at that point, my communication was really bad. My English was horrible. So she say, we are having communication issues because of your English. It's horrible. And she's like, you're getting fat. I'm like, I have never been fat in my life. Never. I was a compete athlete. I'm out of shape, but every time I was trying to go to the gym or exercise or do everything, she was like, you are a bad father because you prefer to spend time in the gym than taking care of the kids. So you're a horrible father. You don't put the kids first. And then she got me there because I'm like, wow, I'm here 24/7 trying to do the best for my children. One of the reasons why I moved to US was to take care of my son and provide the best for him. And now you're telling me that I'm a horrible parent. That was really painful to hear. I mean, she was upset because I didn't have more money sometimes, but at the same time, we spent a ton of money in useless things. I mean, from that point, I was going crazy at the level that I talked to my mom, I think I need a psychologist, mom, because I'm a horrible person and I'm hurting the person I love. My mom was crying. It's like, son, you are not a horrible man, but everybody can improve in life. She doesn't live here. She didn't see the whole picture. And then I found a psychologist and I started to talk to her and I started to put things out because I felt really bad. Also, one day I was feeling so bad that I decided all my ex-girlfriends, and including my ex-wife, just saying that, look, I didn't know I was that bad as a man. So I want to apologize. I feel that bad that that's why it came to me. It's like, are you going crazy? I mean, I know we didn't work, but you're a wonderful man and you're a good father too. I have never seen you like that. Something is wrong with you and you need to be back to yourself. That's what she told me. And I was surprised because it's my ex-wife who is telling me that. You will expect something different, but I saw her so sincere that I say, okay, thank you. And then I went ahead and I called to another ex-girlfriend and she told me exactly the same. And I said, I was so selfish. She said, I mean, you can be many things, but you never was selfish. Never. And you always looked for the best and was there. And that was great. I mean, it didn't work out for multiple reasons, but not for the reasons you are calling out right now. And again, I mean, I found the same answers. That's the point here. One of my ex-girlfriends, she asked, so she said, okay, look, I'm your ex-girlfriend, but I think the person you are dating right now is not the best for you. You may want to be alone for a while, and then you will realize the man you are again. I do not recognize you right now. And just to share with you, I went to the level that my manager called me and told me, I don't know what is going on with you right now, but you need to be back to your feet. You are not yourself anymore. You really need to take a time to think because it's affecting your performance right now in the company. So even at that point, I felt that I reached the bottom because my friends, my family, my manager, nobody could recognize who I was at that point. So, but that time, and I jump on the story here, but at that time, one day we just broke up with her because we have a huge discussion about her friend. Because her friend had been nearby her 10 years. No matter who she's with, she always back to this guy. They work in the same company. She said, he has been there for me in my whole life. Pretty much the last 10 years of my life, helping me with everything. So he's a good friend. But I say, a good friend doesn't interfere in your relationships. And a good friend doesn't ask for sex. He was asking to have sex with her because he was helping her with so many things. One day, I went for a business trip and I came back working in her house, in her room, and she's getting messages. I asked her who is texting her at this time. It was midnight. And I realized it's this guy texting her. So I said, like, what is so important and what he has to say at midnight? We already had that conversation before. So she said, I don't know. I'm just going to tell him good night. And I barely saw the message because I was wondering why he kept texting her at midnight. So next day, I took her phone and I was going crazy at that point, and I read the messages. And fair enough, he was asking to have sex with her. She kind of deleted some messages, and so I asked her why she allows that from a man that's supposed to be her friend. So we went into a discussion because immediately I asked for that. She apologizes, but 2 minutes later, I was the bad guy because I opened her phone and she went off on me and make me feel that I was a horrible man because I was checking her phone and I didn't trust her and so on. So instead of having a conversation about why this man is asking sex from her and buying underwear to her and buying another personal stuff, we jump into the conversation that I was a horrible man because I checked her phone.
So now there are put downs about your body, put downs about your parenting, put downs about your character. People don't recognize you anymore, and your job is even saying that it is affecting your performance. Plus, we find out that there's more to this friend, and lines are being crossed, and who knows what else might be going on. And you also get blamed for looking at their phone. So what happens from here?
And then she talked that to her family too. So now her family was involved. And her brother came to me and talked to me and said, you don't check on other people's phone, especially from your couple. And I told him what happened. And fair enough, we ran into a huge discussion. But I ended up being the bad guy for checking the phone. I was the bad guy. So at that point, we broke up. I went for a trip just to release my mind. I was talking to another friend. And when I came from my trip, I took 20 days off. I was at the apartment, and at the time I came from my trip, she was at the apartment with the kiddos waiting for me. And she became the perfect woman again. It's 2 months. Truly perfect. And I'm so sorry. I know we can work better. I really want you in my life. I want to marry you. I want to have kids with you. Well, again, it was just perfect. I'm so sorry. We could do better. Fair enough. I believe her because at that point I'm like, oh, she's back. And she's like, I know I'm going to say this, but we should live together and then we'll do better. I get out of the apartment and I moved to her house. Worst decision I ever made in my life because now I start to see so many things. She always said I was unorganized. My apartment was not clean. I mean, she blamed so many things on me, but then when I moved to her house, she didn't have a bed. I'm like, why you don't have a bed? You're sleeping on the mattress. I start to spend money in the house to make it better. I try to organize the house, and no matter what I would try to do to make that place better, always went back to be the same. It took all my energy like never in my life. I tried so hard to fix everything, to organize everything, and no matter what you do, I was like I go into a house that there's a spirits there. I don't know. I start to believe so many things because what's so weird, I say like something is going on here because no matter what you do, everything goes back to be as bad as it was before. She was blaming me because she got some pounds up. So it's my fault. When I was looking into the mirror, I wasn't seeing myself anymore. I wasn't shaving, organizing my hair because she wanted long. I was like no mood to wake up, to eat. I got sick like never in my life I got sick. I have so many health issues that it wasn't me, the clothes. I like to buy clothes from certain brands. And she said, that brand is the worst brand in the world. You have to use these clothes. She was buying the clothes for me. I was crazy. It wasn't me. Like right now, I go back and then I quit the psychologist because she say that's the worst thing you can do. You're spending money in something that is useless. So I stopped to go to the therapist because what's useless at that point wasn't me. No, I wasn't doing what I like to do. I wasn't reading. I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't running. I wasn't listening to music. I couldn't speak in English. I couldn't speak in Spanish. And friends, I couldn't do anything of the things I normally do in my life. Nothing. I'm going to share the most difficult part. Every day, we were running into a discussion. And then, for whatever reason, she was coming from a job and I was cleaning her room, preparing dinner, organizing the kids, doing everything, doing breakfast, cleaning the room, organizing beds. I was doing literally everything for her.
Taking care of her kids too.
Yes, taking care of the kids. And her daughter got to the point that she was asking, how is mom's mood? Is she having a good day or a bad day? Because she was so scared when her mom will come home that she will be upset for something and she will take care of her or me. So during those weeks, she was waking up some days that she said, do not touch me, don't hug me, don't kiss me. I don't want to be touched. I was like, what did I do? Just don't touch me. I'm like, okay. I was feeling a rejection. So I was feeling really bad. Then at night, she was, come here. I want to make love to you. I felt used at that point. I'm like, what's wrong with you that you don't want to be touched or hugged or nothing in the morning and at night? Just jump over me and you want to be with me. And you're waking me up at the middle of the night just to have sex. I said like, honestly, I don't feel I'm being used right now. So I remember we're 4th of July. I woke up in the morning. We're having a party at her brother's house. And then I went to say, good morning, my love. I wanted to kiss her in her neck and hug her. I was to say, do not touch me. I don't want to be touched. And I was like, so her breaking at that point was like, I do not understand what's going on with you. We need to sort it out. So I went inside the bathroom to organize myself for 4th of July. She came into the bathroom and she started to shave her legs and everything, and she got naked. So I jumped into the shower. She jumped into the shower and kept doing the same. So I got really upset. And I went outside. 2 days later, I realized that she told every single member of her family that I tried to abuse of her on the bathroom. That was a Wednesday. Saturday, we came back home, and that night she woke me up in the middle of the night to have sex again. So I was 2 days wondering what's going on here. So we were walking, and then I say, you know what? I cannot keep doing this. I don't recognize myself. You are up and down every day, and you even didn't say anything about what happened. And I'm here feeling horrible, and you say nothing. You have sex with me. I do not understand anything. I'm done. I need to walk away from here. I'm leaving you right now. So my son, we were with the 2 little ones. I'm going to take my son, and she's like, you cannot take my son. I was like, okay, 1 second. Why did you just say it's your son? Okay, you are telling me I cannot live with my son, stating that it's your son? I was shocked, like never in my life. So I say, look, I'm leaving. I cannot. I stopped to walk away. And she said, okay, let me take you home. And then we talk later. When we reached home, I noticed her brother was following us on the car. I said, why is your brother following us? She said, why do you think so? After your almost abuse of me, they already know what you have done and they are worried about it. Like, I said, what? I did what? I've been trying to talk to you and you didn't want to talk to me, and now I'm the one who, like, I was shocked. She left. Her brother came to talk to me. He said, like, hey, bro, no worries. I just take it easy. Don't take decisions. I know you're upset right now. My sister can be bipolar time to time. He said that. I'm like, no. Your sister just accused me of something that I didn't do. And on the top of that, I'm the one who is shocked the last 2 days. He was like, no worries. I know you can sort this out. You are a wonderful man. You're a great man. We have everybody in the family loves you. But she just said that, but why you don't guys go to a concert? I said, I'm leaving your sister. I cannot live like this. I mean, just don't rush to take decisions. He was trying too hard to keep me in. And I said, no. I'm leaving your sister. I'm done. I'm not myself. Nothing works here. I mean, I'm in a hole here. I mean, out. I'm out. This cannot be happening. I'm even crying at night for what happened because I felt so bad that she pushed me to that level like never in my life. I cannot live with that right now, with myself, and she's just there going ups and down and using me again. So the point is, I was the one who wanted out, and she started to tell everybody that she's the one who doesn't want me in the house because she always has to win. Even to the point that her father told me and showed me things that she was saying. I'm like, okay, that's just, she's again not being honest or accountable for mistakes. Her father used to be really nice to me, and they were saying like, he's not a bad man. We understand that you guys don't work. So she got so upset with her family that everything that she started to say what I scream at her. I mean, all the bad things that she could say at the point that eventually, and today, her parents now are on her side because she started to show that I was a monster. And at that point, I realized and I started to remember all the stories she shared with me about her ex-boyfriends. And I realized I'm in the same spot of the story at that point. I was so shocked. And at that point, my brain started like kind of realize that, dude, you would play in a way that never happened before to you. And then it's like, I need to leave. And she told her parents he cannot do anything without me because he's extremely needy. He cannot buy anything without me. I mean, was crazy. So fair enough, I moved. She told to her parents that she was so upset, disappointed, and scared. She said that she was so scared about me doing something to her that she could not go back home until I moved. And I like, her parents just, you gotta leave at this point. And I left, like somebody's kicking a dog out of that house. I moved and I started from the scratch to organize everything. And it took me like a month, and I was so bad that depressed that my parents, he said like, why you don't come back home, take a time off. My manager told me, take a time off, just take it easy. We know you're a wonderful man. You need to be back to yourself. So I took 3 weeks off. I went back to my country, to my friends, and was a relief, feeling that everything was so different. When I came back, I started from the scratch. 3 months later, she showed up and she wrote me a letter apologizing for everything. It was like unbelievable. At the beginning, it was so sincere that I'm like, wow. But I didn't fully believe that. I didn't fully believe that at this point. And she's like, I would like to be your friend. And I told her, we cannot be friends at this point. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Since that day, she had been trying so hard to be my friend. But to be honest, it's a daily exercise for me to push out. Because now that I'm reading more and I start to talk more, put it out, I can read the patterns more. And it's so clear right now for me when the waves goes up and she want to be perfect friend, she want to be the right words in the right moment. And then when I don't buy that, she push out. And then I know that this other guy is there when I'm not there. And she tries again so hard to be in my life. And I told her, look, I'm not the best guy for you. I will never be able to help you the way you need help. I really believe that you need to find somebody else. And I'm being extremely nice. So once she realized, when she tried to be back, she come back like, well, you look so handsome. Wow, you lose weight. And then she tried to, again, play the game that you're skinny now. I said, hey, it's fine. I like to be skinny. People like me skinny. It's okay. So I didn't went back to believe, oh, I'm too skinny. I need to be better. I say like, oh, thank you. I feel good being skinny. And then it's like, no, but you're getting some muscles. She tried to check me, like to realize like, okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, it's not working. I'm trying this one. It's not working. So I went back to cut the hair in the way I like it. And now she likes my hair. When before, at first was perfect, then she didn't like it. And then like, oh, if that's what she liked, you looks really good. It makes you feel good, you know? And she's trying. And then she tried to buy things for me. But I'm like, no, thank you. I don't need it. It's okay. Or she tried me to buy things for her. I say, no, thank you. I'm trying to save money now. Oh, you're saving money. I say, yes, I want to save money for the college of my son. She came to my apartment one day. I made she cook. I didn't want to. I said, I don't want to date with you anymore. I don't want to get involved anymore. So every time she want me to get involved, I try to push out because now I read the signals and I understand better what is the game. Because for her, I understand it's a game. And she's very playful, and then she kicks out, and then she wanna play back, and then she kicks out, and then she wanna be nice, and then she kicks out. So she's trying for multiple ways to catch me out, and then now I read the signals.
So she's still in your life?
She's kind of coming and going.
Oh, so she's still in your life now. You haven't kicked her out of your life.
Yeah. So I talked to my mom. Look, she's playing with my personality because she knows I'm a nice guy. So every time she comes, she tries to play the victim. She's crying, oh, something's going on. So she wants to be listened. So I answer the phone. That's what I'm doing. I answer the phone. And every time, the difference now is that I'm being myself because that's who I am. I always try to help people. And I have done that my whole life. But this time, every time she want to catch me being the victim, I say, okay, I'm so sorry. I need you. You need to work that out on your own. So I don't get into the situation where she want me to go. So that makes her feel really upset. I say like with my personality, and that's the reason why I fell in love with her in the past, was I want to help everybody. I want to be there for you. But right now, I don't want to force myself to be somebody else, but she will leave by her own, knowing that she cannot touch me anymore. That's how I feel right now. So far, I'm doing better. My manager congratulated me. I got approved to study in the college. I feel better. I'm doing exercise. The relationship with my ex-wife is better. The relationship with my son is better. So I just want to be myself again. So I say like, she can knock in the door, not find, and is not finding what she wants. She will leave by herself. I shared that with my mom, was concerned about that. And I said, Mom, I'm not opening because before I used to let her come into my place and take a seat and have a wine. I'm not doing that anymore. One of the things I'm slowly doing my own process of closing the gaps and the doors. And I want to reach to the point that it will be 1000% close. Yeah. So for me, having a difficult exercise, dealing with my personality of willing to help people, to close 100% the door to somebody for the very first time in my life, because I realized that this person is not accountable for anything. She's not honest. She always played that game of wars where she never guilty of anything, but she never accountable for anything. So I'm doing that exercise slowly. For instance, regarding my son, I never allow her to see my son again. You are not seeing my son again. Never, never, never. So she never come back to be close to my son. I'm trying to close the gap. So when I realized that, I said, I need to be closer to people that have been going through the same, to remind myself every day that this is a daily fight to extract that from my mind, my heart, and every single part of my body. Because at this point, I understand that somehow I became addict to that behavior, to that charming person, and then the horrible side, and then the charming person, and then the horrible side. I was so difficult to understand that it's really unhealthy and it's not true. That's something you mentioned before. Realize that the person you love or you used to love that was so awesome is not going to change no matter what. It's very difficult. When I got the therapist, I was focusing just on myself, not blaming myself. I was looking into the mirror and knowing and seeing somebody that did wrong, somebody that was not good. So everything was related like, I'm not good. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a good man. I'm not a good father. I'm not a good professional. Everything was like that. But now I want somebody who understands the situation from the other perspective. Uh, and definitely, yes. One of the reasons why I start to be more open is because I understanding that I went through it. I'm letting go things from my heart and my brain, uh, having helped me to feel peace, to realize that there is something that there's more people there going through the same. There are more people there that need help. I just want them to know that they are not crazy. And I don't want anybody to go through what I have been through. It's horrible. It's really horrible. I mean, this is having the worst experience in my life. And yes, I don't want to be back there. And I'm working on this every day because it has to be every single day. So yes, that's the reason why I was willing to open about this. Mentally, verbally, it was a horrible thing. That was really horrible. It was really, really, really difficult.
Well, Pierre, I really want to thank you for being our guest today, showing everyone that an addiction that can form coming from this intermittent reinforcement, the good times, the bad times, but also how an abuser can take someone who is just a good person and manipulate them into thinking that they are bad in so many ways. And I'm sure so many people out there are validated by your story today. So I really can't thank you enough for being here with us today.
Yeah, I will appreciate that. I want to say thank you to you for the opportunity. What you have been doing, I think, is really great. Helping other people to be back to their feet and go out from that nightmare. So I'm the one who wants to say thank you.
Well, thank you once again, Pierre. And if you want to be a guest like Pierre was today, go to our website at narcissistapocalypse.com. Click on the guest form button at the top of the page, fill out our guest form, and press the submit button. Also at our website, we have a support group. So if you want to join our support group, we have Zoom meetings every Wednesday night, Thursday afternoons, and Saturday nights. We have forum boards for you to post on to get the validation that you need from survivors just like you. There's a great group of people on there, and you can make a lot of friends too. So join our support group today. And also at our website, we have a brand new newsletter. So if you want to join our newsletter, we have reflections from all of our new episodes on there. We also attach a free workbook for the episode as well for you to work through whatever's going on with you through those episodes. Or sign up for our newsletter today, and you can do that at narcissistapocalypse.com. And that is it for today. So for myself and Pierre, we hope you have a good night.